Alright, this video is talking about the general flow in terms of organization of your paragraphs. Now, in general, if you have all of the parts of a paragraph, simply doing that in some sort of logical order will make your paragraph flow pretty well. Think of it like playing baseball. Okay, you hit a base hit, you're not going to run to second and then to the pitcher's mound and then third and then the first base. That doesn't make any sense. There's no logical organization to that. Okay, you're going to run to first, then you're going to run to second, third, and then home. Paragraphs the same way. If you're not going in any sort of logical sequence, then your paragraph isn't going to make any sense. So if you have all of the parts of the paragraph and they're all related, then it's going to have some sort of flow. Now, as you get a little bit better at this, you're going to throw in some transitions, which is going to make it flow even better. And from there, you're going to be able to move the parts around on purpose, strategically, to fit whatever your purpose is. Now, if you're having trouble with this general flow idea, stick to the formula until you are comfortable enough to stray from it and move things around a little bit more. So right here is the general idea of what your paragraph should look like. You want to start with your topic sentence or your claim. Provide a piece of evidence, explain that evidence through commentary/elaboration. Give another piece of evidence to synthesize and make your argument or information even stronger. Again, explain it and then finish off with your conclusion. Like I said, as you improve, you can switch these around and do different things with them. It doesn't necessarily have to go evidence, commentary, evidence, commentary. It can go evidence, evidence, commentary, commentary. It can go commentary, evidence. There's a variety of ways you can do it. When you're good enough to manipulate it like that, you're not going to need my help anymore. Okay. Also, by now we should be able to start putting in some of these transitions. Now there's a giant, humongous list of hundreds of these things. But some of the most useful for right now are right here. Also in conclusion, as a result, in addition, for example. Google it, you'll find, a ton more. So you start throwing in these transitions, it's going to make your paragraph flow a lot more smoothly. Okay, let's take a look at an example of a paragraph which it's just missing a general flow. It's sort of all over the place. Now when I say it's all over the place, I don't mean that the information is bad. It's just organized in a way that's kind of confusing. There's no really logical sequence to it. Okay, so let's see if we can pick it out. Before you make up your mind about having exotic animals as pets, you should know that they are very dangerous and they can kill you in an instant. So here are some of my thoughts about how exotic animals and pets and how dangerous they can really be instead of just how they look. So you think they're cute, huh? Well, guess what? They are meant for the wild, not the home of a person with a dog or a cat or anything like that. They would not do anything with them, just leave them in a cage for nothing just to say they have one. Okay, right? Already I'm kind of confused of where they're going with this. I thought they were talking about animals being dangerous and, kill you in an instant. I'm not really sure what they're getting at yet. They would just have them in a cage, no food, no water. They're being abused, which is animal abuse, which is very bad. Well, I thought that you were talking about how dangerous they were and how dangerous they can be, but now we're talking about animal abuse, which is important, but not really related to the topic. The estimate of the deaths of exotic animals is 200 exotic animals have died from being pets of people, but what I mean by being killed is also animal abuse by people. In other cases, it would be exotic animal abuse. So we're providing a piece of evidence here and kind of explaining it in the same sentence, but not really providing a conclusion at the end or anything. So there's no real organization to this paragraph right now. There's some information here that is very, very useful and is very good, but right now, because of the organization, I can't follow what this person's argument is. So they need to go back to this formula here. What is their topic sentence? What do they really want to focus on? Pull out the evidence that you do have and put it in an order. Explain that evidence a little bit and wrap it all up at the end. So you have the ideas down, you just need to put it in a logical format here. Okay? Here's an example of a paragraph that does have the organization down. Now, when you have proper organization in your paragraph, you should be able to highlight each of the parts, similar to this. Now, they won't necessarily be this perfect, Sometimes you might have commentary within the evidence, and that's fine. But in general, you should be able to highlight, just like this. Exotic animals require special individual care that most cannot provide. So this is our clear topic sentence. This includes a loving owner who can always be there, personalized housing areas, a special diet, a lot of maintenance, cleaning up after them, and much more. We have our piece of evidence. Okay, this is some specific care that they need that people can't provide. Not only would that become extremely time-consuming and expensive, but most aren't willing to provide the care needed even when they can pay for the expenses. So they're explaining how these things are difficult to provide. This is their commentary. Also, which is a great use of transition, tells me, the reader, hey, I'm about to move into a different idea. There's always the question that people ask of, what do I do with this animal after they decided they can't care for their exotic animals? Another piece of evidence. Most give the animals to the zoos, but considering the amount of money and how many animals the zoos already have, the zoos can't possibly take in care for every animal given to them. So this is a good piece of elaboration or commentary to explain this evidence. As a result of this, a great transition statement right there, there are animals everywhere then doomed to live in deplorable, terrifying conditions. Okay, awesome use of the word deplorable. Not really what we're talking about, but thumbs up for that one. Okay, so I can follow this paragraph very, very easily. It's organized. There's transitions to tell me like, hey, I'm about to tell you a certain piece of information, or I'm about to switch topics a little bit. It all flows very, very well. Okay, so again, if you're having trouble, follow this format. Follow the formula step by step. As you improve, start throwing some transitions in there. Not just any, okay? Use them on purpose, but throw some transitions in there. And finally, your last step is actually being able to move these things around according to what purpose you're trying to achieve, okay? So, organization is extremely important so your reader can follow your information and understand what you're trying to say, understand what your arguments are and what your information is.